criticize the DPP and she should not criticize herself? I'll respond.
Matt, listen to me. Where in the world do you hear a lawyer or lawyers publicly criticizing, in our region, maybe you in the US, publicly criticizing a judge? We do not. But
it might not have happened before, Carlisle. That doesn't mean that a lawyer cannot criticize a judge.
Yeah, but if, Matt, this is the judge you are criticizing, and you want to go to have an audience with the judge. So you're going to criticize me and try to bring me to shame, and you expect to have an audience with me.
From your wake up this morning, you're the winner.
Football. The Dominica Football Association, alongside its proud sponsor Domlet, present Championship Sunday. Yes, the championship in the Dominica Football Association Domlet Women Football League will be decided this Sunday when Dive Dominica Harlem United will take on the defending champions, New India Goodwill Runners, at the Windsor Park Stadium this Sunday from 5 p.m. Will Goodwill Runners add yet another trophy to their collection? Your guess is as good as mine. Or will the girls from Harlem raise their first trophy? South City, come represent. You think that's all right? Before the championship game, Mao Soccer Strikers will come up against Bomber Starlight from 3 p.m. I warn you, it's Championship Sunday. The price is only $5 and all children enter free. So don't miss it. Football, women football action at the Windsor Park Stadium this Sunday from 3 and 5 p.m.
Dominica, we don't have too much time, but I was hoping that a legal person would have brought some, if you will, a little balance to this argument that's going on within our court system, between the judge and the DPP. Of course, I stepped out and sought the wisdom, they say, of a former DPP officer, and of course, someone who works, in the court system in the BVI. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. My friends will say, okay, Clement, good idea. But some of my enemies will say, I guess I'll get another open letter written to me.
What do you make of all of this going on? Some people are saying this is not good for our court system. DPP fighting versus judge fighting versus DPP. Verbally, that is.
Yes, I think our last conversation was about the nature of the justice system.
Yes,
That was our last conversation, and here we go with another blow to the perception of the justice system in Dominica again, and but it is getting out of hand, Matt, and I think that somebody of influence, the Attorney General, so to speak, needs to step in and mediate between the parties, the Judicial and Legal Services Commission, somebody, so the Bar Association, somebody needs, because you cannot go to court where it cannot be a system where the Director of Public Prosecution does not have an audience before the judge, the criminal judge.
How does it work? If the judge has a problem with you, I'm just saying specifically our judge here, Mrs. Clark, but in any system within the region, would you call you, in her chambers?
Yes, I think that the judge has a problem. You call the Director of Public Prosecutions and you lay out your what your issues are. I think it need not be in public unless your frustration have grown due to inaction. Probably if you have complained and privately for so long and nothing is happening, still I don't believe it should be a public spat. The authorities who employ the DPP should be written to, although there is a constitutional independence of the DPP. But the Attorney General specifically should be, spoken to about the matter before the judge would have gone public. But be that it may, the judge went public and then the DPP issued a press release. Everybody's different. The DPP thought that issuing a press release was our best course of action.
How does it work in terms of the system? In other words, who has more authority? Who's boss?
Well, I don't think there is a matter of who's boss in that case. Everybody has the constitutional and the parameters within which they work. The Director of Public Prosecutions is to institute, take over and continue, or take over and discontinue legal proceedings. The judge is to sit there and be the arbiter of the law and
the referee,
the administration of the court. So where the court would have set up matters, Dominica runs on the assizes system. Although I understand they no longer call it assizes, but they call it sessions. But sessions is just a different name. And way in advance, a list is published a month or two before, or probably a month before the session starts. A list of all the matters that are going to be heard for that session is distributed among the bar, the DPP's office, everybody, all stakeholders. So the DPP would know what cases are coming up for that session because they would have had to get the depositions, read the depositions, and either file an indictment or file a nollie pros, as the case may be. So the DPP's office is aware of what matters are listed for that session before the court.
You know what a senior police officer is saying to me at this time? Matt, many things are wrong in Dominica. The criminal justice system is in disarray. From the police to the magistracy, to the DPP, to the jury, to the judge, we have stayed quiet for the ills in Dominica. Here's our harvest, a non-efficient system, more disarray to come. Don't be surprised. Are you surprised that you're getting these kind of comments at this time?
No, I'm not surprised. And our judicial system is archaic. Preliminary inquiries, the waste of time, as I made mention recently about sufficiency hearing, where one day a judge decides whether there is a prima facie case, sets a trial within the next 90 days. So you go before a court, a magistrate's court, the matter is sent up to the judge for sufficiency hearing within 35 days. That judge decides whether there is a prima facie case in one day, and they would have had the file, read the file, and then a trial date is sought. So a person who gets charged for murder in June could very well see their trial in December, by December. And it is so, I mean, it has been tried and proven, tested before the courts. They have it here, they have it in St. Lucia, which was the pilot program, and Dominica has not moved on. And it's not Dominica alone. The rest of the Eastern Caribbean has not moved on. Trinidad is now trying to get rid of it. Jamaica is now piloting, trying to get rid of the preliminary inquiries. And it's a frustration built into the system that puts a strain on it puts a strain on the registry, it puts a strain on the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, it puts a strain on the police, it puts a strain on the courts. I mean, you have matters that I left in Dominica that are still, PI have not concluded. You know, Carlin Nicholas for murder in Granby, the PI has not yet concluded. So the jail where there's a double murder one Christmas Eve or something like that in Granby, I don't think that PI has ever concluded yet. And so these things, they cause a strain on the system, and the judicial system, it does put it in disarray. So there are a bunch of factors. There's the human factor, there are the institutionalized factors. So stakeholders need to really get together in a frank discussion as to how to move forward and resolve all these issues.
You think the Bar Association should intervene? We always call on them to intervene. This one needs some cold water to be thrown on it there.
The Bar Association should step in and offer to act as a mediator, even if they were to bring in some person properly trained in mediation to come and have something, because it is just not a tenable position. It is just, we just cannot fathom a position where the Director of Public Prosecution does not have an audience before the criminal judge. We just cannot, should not consider, think, or dream of such a situation in Dominica.
Thank you, Mr. Clement Joseph, there, former DPP officer now based in the BVI, sharing his wisdom on this one here. 449309596 and 97. We need some help. Hello.
Good morning, Matt.
Matt,
let us assume that the judge was right. And also, I feel Miss Evelina is also right. Because when you sit back and you listen to the clippings that you play, we first got that information from Curtis Matthew, from the judge. So that means the very same things that the judge was saying to Evelina Baptiste in public, in front of the media, she could have called her on her side. They could have spoken about it, and Evelina would have then tell her what is the problem of what was going on. But when she bring it out in the public, why should I now blame Evelina for bringing her response back to the public? It doesn't make any sense. I think, if there is a problem, the judge and the DPP needs to come together. And making it worse, Matt, that the judge went further by embarrassing her more in the public again. I mean, how can you throw cold water on something like that? I mean, the judge needs to also apologize to Evelina, and both of them have to talk eventually. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Both sides, somebody says, needs to take a chill pill. Just cool out. Let good heads prevail, sensible heads prevail in this one, or else. That's all I'm going to say at this time. Taking a break, and we're coming back after this.
From your wake up this morning, you're a winner.
Football. The Dominica Football Association, alongside its proud sponsor Domlet, present Championship Sunday. Yes, the championship in the Dominica Football Association Domlet Women Football League will be decided this Sunday when Dive Dominica Harlem United will take on the defending champions New India Goodwill Runners at the Windsor Park Stadium this Sunday from 5 p.m. Will Goodwill Runners add yet another trophy to their collection? Your guess is as good as mine. Or will the girls from Harlem raise their first trophy? South City, come represent. You think that's all right? Before the championship game, Mawa Soccer Strikers will come up against Bomber Starlight from 3 p.m. I warn you, it's Championship Sunday. The price is only $5 and all children enter free. So don't miss it. Football, women football action at the Windsor Park Stadium this Sunday from 3 and 5 p.m.
The stage is set for the 6th annual NCCU Cadastro Lipso Show, Portersville, Savannah, November 2nd, 2017. Come see top performances by Cadastro bands and individuals and the Cadastro legend. It will be massive. The 2017 NCCU Cadastro Lipso Show, Portersville, Savannah, November 2nd, 2017. The legacy lives on. Make it a date.
Dominica, get ready for one of the most celebrated Haitian copper bands, T-Vice. T-Vice. CPAF in collaboration with Typhus and Lido Baron Restaurant St. Martin present the T-Vice live in concert on Friday, July 14th at the Strip Lade Coco 8 p.m.
If you love T-Vice, you got to get loud, get loud.
T-Vice. T-Vice.
Menu.
Also, Theo Cass, Elijah Vino, Dios Copa, Grand Black, DJ Biggers from St. Martin, Prince Wallix and more. Partners include Digicel, TVS Radio Court, Q95 FM, The Big Station, Deepex, Fine Foods Inc. and more. Purchase tickets from Multi Pharmacy Deepex Scholar Lab from now until June 30 at $40. July 1st to July 14th at $50. And more at the door. T-Vice live in concert, July 14th at the Strip. Manchester.
Advertise where everyone's listening. Advertise on Q95 today. Get more bang for your buck. Talk shows, news, sports, music shows, entertainment events, weekend shows, Newsweek reviews, early morning shows, evening and daytime shows, hot tips on health, nutrition, security, traffic, weather, environment, and more. Place your display banners on the Q95 website, www.q95da.com, with live links to your own website. Advertise on Q95, your one-stop shop for audio and video streaming, breaking news, sports, and entertainment. Advertise on Q95. Get value for your money. Call 767-448-5822 today.
Good morning on the telephone here. We have just about 3 more minutes. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
Good morning, Matt.
Uh-huh.
I'm calling from St. Lucia, and I must say that it's so clear that the judge has a serious problem. But Dominicans must look at her history. As the DPP of St. Lucia, she did no work. Innocent people wasting...
But we will not be able to, of course, substantiate that. You say she did no work. I would have to get somebody on the ground there to prove just what you're saying. I mean, you step in on dangerous grounds here, all right? That's all I would say at this time. 4493095. 9:57 is the morning time. Come back.
Remember, we are in the hurricane season. Discuss and practice a disaster plan with your family. One of the most important lessons from hurricane: make sure everyone in the family knows who to contact and how to contact them. Make sure kids know enough information so that an adult can get in touch with that person should sudden evacuation be necessary when you aren't near them. Practice this and make other backup plans. If you have young children, you might like to write important contact information on an index card and give it to them in case they are somehow separated from you. If your older children have cell phones, make sure that your contact information and any other important contact information are programmed into their contact list or speed dials. This can be as involved as you like, but keep in mind the ages and temperaments of individuals to assure everything runs smoothly in the event you have to evacuate.
I suspect we have just about 2 more minutes. Calls all the way from St. Lucia. This is packed enough to be a very substantial debate there. But we have to guard against what we say. Huh? I know some of us just want to criticize, but we have to guard what we say. In these days of, they say, sue it. They'll talk to me.
Yes, Matt, I'm from Dominica.
Uh-huh.
What I called him to say is that I know, the radio station have to protect themselves from legal and stuff, legal action, stuff like that. But I believe some opportunity should be given to the lady to let her say what she knows.
And put herself in trouble.
No. Then when the time comes to cut off, then you cut off. But the lady just say that she coming from St. Lucia and lady don't do no work, and boom, we just put the...
I'm just guarding the radio station, my brother.
I understand.
You understand that?
I understand that, and I understand that.
All right, caller, let's take another phone call. 9:59, unless you understand. I know a lot of people were just dying to hear what she's talking about. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Matt, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, Matt. I really believe that was a level of unprofessionalism. I'm from the judge and the director of public, the DPP lady. If you all have all the differences, to come in public and expose all this like that, Matt, it's uncomfortable.
Washing your dirty linens, huh?
I personally believe, Matt, that she should be disciplined, Matt. Is there anybody that's going to discipline her, Matt?
Discipline who? The DPP?
The judge for actually...
Oh, okay. Well, I have to ask somebody within the legal circles who can really discipline her. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, morning.
Morning, sir.
How are you doing, boss?
My brother, how you doing?
My son, I believe there is a situation that the court has to deal with the issue, and we shouldn't get dragged into that.
We shouldn't get into it?
Students should be very careful that people don't make statements.
Oh, okay.
And then you put the radio station in,
Yes,
And that is a matter of the age you should be dealing with. The other radio station not even carrying it. I'm not saying because they're not carrying it.
Well, it was. I must give it to them. They were the first ones who carried the statements from the judge.
Okay.
All right. So they did pay some attention. It was not maybe discussed publicly, but they did give it some attention.
Matt, which carried statement?
Yes.
That if you criticize somebody, you cannot have an audience before that. I think he's justifying what the Speaker of the House has done to him. I think she should continue the ban on him.
All right, caller, thank you very much. The news time will continue at 1 o'clock. Talk on the block.
Good morning and welcome to Q95's morning news update for today, Thursday, June 22nd, 2017. Brought to you compliments Dominica Brewery and Beverages Limited and NCCU Limited.
The Benz Ansdime Asolda Development Committee, in collaboration with the Benz Village Council, present the Feast of St. Peter's. Yes, you heard right. The Feast of St. Peter's. Activities will run from Wednesday, June 28th to Sunday, July 2nd. The activity moves into higher gear on Friday night, where Soca meets Bouillon. On the main stage will be the True Rhythm Band, the First Serenade, Dr. Miguel Labadie, and taking you straight to an easy daybreak, the People's Band, the Bouillon Band. Girl! What are you doing by yourself? Yeah, more than Triple K Band, baby. A small contribution of only $10 will be collected on entrance. The activity continues on Saturday night from 9 p.m. It's all about Big People Party with DJ Matthew, Midnight Groovers, Ecstasy Band, and the Caribbean's #1 party band, the Swinging Stars. All this powered by the Big Bad Club DVD. And on Sunday, we all are going to church to give thanks and praise, followed by the blessing of the boats. Later that afternoon, 12 football teams will gather on the Ansdime playing field to compete for the St. Peter's Soca Roma Champion. Music will be provided by DJ Flip the Boss and Selector Urban. Right after the football competition, we are going back in time with the Bouillon Pioneers, original members of the WCK Band, Rock, Cornell and Wackers. You don't want to miss this. Hello, it's another Feast of St. Peter's in the villages of Benz, Ansdime and Asolda. Get involved. Bigging up the sponsors one time, the government of Dominica, Honorable Rosalind Paul, Kuguli, Fine Food Inc., DigiPlay, Double O Constructions, Dominica Football Association, George Trucking and Excavation Services, Ministry of Trade, and DASPA.
The National Cooperative Credit Union Limited, NCCU, is extending on its commitment to great member service by providing 24-hour access to all your NCCU accounts via QCall, our 24-hour telephone teller. Whether you need assistance managing your NCCU accounts, checking for salary deposits, purchasing top-up and electricity power, or simply verifying your NCCU debit card transactions, don't worry, QCall is here for you. Just visit any NCCU branch to activate your 24-hour telephone teller. NCCU, one big family.
In news this morning, many have been calling on the Director of Public Prosecution in Dominica to tighten up on the way her department conducts investigations. Persons have also criticized the DPP's press release, which publicly criticizes High Court Judge Victoria Charles Clark. On June 16, 2017, Director of Public Prosecutions Evelina Baptiste lashed out at High Court Judge Victoria Charles Clark, who has expressed frustration on June 12 and 13, 2017, regarding the department of the DPP appearing to be tardy in its work and the swift prosecution of matters. More on this story will be presented in the Q95 Midday News package. In the region, according to the Guyana Sugar Corporation, also known as GuySuco, a report on the feasibility study of aquaculture as a diversification venture for GuySuco discloses significant potential. This study was undertaken by Aquasol Corporation Incorporated, a company based in Florida. The areas examined in the study included an evaluation of the physical characteristics of the proposed geographic location, soil properties, water resources, and the quality. Included also were the infrastructure and the requirements for managing a commercial aquaculture project. The consultants gave the rationale for selecting particular species, in this case tilapia, along with a detailed operational plan that includes farm design and operations. The report addressed prospective markets, processing and packaging, financial projections, among others. And around 600 high-rises across England are using similar cladding to Grenfell Tower, Downing Street estimates. Tower blocks across the United Kingdom are being examined after the London blaze, which left 79 people dead or missing, presumed dead. 3 samples have been shown to be combustible, and more results will be made public in the next 48 hours. A Number 10 spokeswoman said it was a matter of absolute urgency to tell residents. Theresa May said, all local authorities responsible for the flats had been told. That concludes your morning news update, brought to you compliments Dominica Brewery and Beverages Limited and NCCU Limited. I am Richie Farrell with the Q95 News team, wishing you a very pleasant morning. Would also like to thank Matt for linking. You can join us again at 12 p.m. for the midday news package with Kimberly Benjamin. Good morning.
The Benz Hans Dime Asolda Development Committee, in collaboration with the Benz Village Council, present the Feast of St. Peter's. Yes, you heard right. The Feast of St. Peter's. Activities will run from Wednesday, June 28th to Sunday, July 2nd. The activity moves into higher gear on Friday night, where Soca meets Bouillon. On the main stage will be the True Rhythm Band, the First Serenade, Dr. Miguel Labadie, and taking you straight to an easy daybreak, the People's Band, the Bouillon Band. Girl! Why you doing by yourself? Yeah, more nice. Triple K Band, baby. A small contribution of only $10 will be collected on entrance.